Welcome to Colonial, Virginia. Over the next several weeks, you will be learning more about life in the Virginia colony. Keep in mind, though, that Jamestown is just one settlement and the current capital of the Virginia colony. There are settlements all over the state. By the end of this unit, you should be able to do the following. Explain the influence of agriculture and its influence on the institution of slavery. Describe how European immigrants, Africans, and American Indians impacted the cultural landscape of Virginia. Explain why the capital of Virginia moved from Jamestown to Williamsburg and then to Richmond. Explain how money, barter, and credit were used in the Virginia colony. And lastly, describe what everyday life was like in Virginia. In order to fully understand the topics in this unit, you should know what these words mean in the context they are being used. Economy is how a country or region goes about producing and selling goods and services. A cash crop is a crop that is grown to sell for money rather than for use by the growers. Money is a medium of exchange or currency, which includes coins and paper bills. Barter is the trading of goods and services without using money. Credit is buying a good or service now and paying for it later. Debt is when a good, service, or amount of money is owed to another person or business. Savings is money put away to be used at another time. A capital is a city or town that is the site of a state or country government. Contaminated means to be made unsafe for drinking. It is a spread of filth or germs. Immigrants are people that move from one country to another to make a new start. And persecution is being attacked for your beliefs. In the next part of this Colonial Virginia unit, we will look at the reasoning behind the decision to move the capital of the Virginia colony not once, but twice. Sir William Berkeley, a favorite of King Charles I, is appointed governor of the colony of Virginia and arrives from England in 1642. Once here, he finds a disorderly colony of about 8,000. In order to help bring order, he tries to copy England's social structure and invites wealthy English families to build elegant plantations in Virginia. He also uses laws to encourage the people of Virginia to adhere to the Church of England, which is the official faith of English people. By his death, 35 years later, the population has grown to nearly 40,000 people. But even with his success, he cannot save Jamestown. Shortly before Sir William Berkeley's death, a group of poor former servants join a planter named Nathaniel Bacon and set fire to Jamestown. They did this out of anger that the governor would not allow them to expand westward by taking Indian lands. This becomes known as Bacon's Rebellion, and although it fades with time, the ruling upper class becomes nervous that their servants may do the same. This fear leads to the ending of short-term servitude and the growth of permanent slavery. The belief is that if they are never freed or given any kind of power, this type of incident can be avoided entirely. It is also important to know that while the tobacco economy is booming into the late 17th century, other aspects of life in Jamestown are less than ideal. At this point, Jamestown is a dying town. The drinking water has been contaminated by the salt water coming in from the James River estuary, so there isn't enough fresh water for the colonists to drink. In addition, there are no sanitation systems like we are used to today, such as plumbing and trash collection. These unsanitary conditions are causing widespread disease and death. Crop harvests are also becoming less profitable each season, and it seems like the land has turned against the colonists. Their crops just aren't growing like they used to. The tobacco plant is harsh on the soil, sucking up all of its nutrients. Lastly, fires keep burning the wooden and brick buildings to the ground. It is for these reasons that the capital of Virginia is moved from Jamestown to Williamsburg in 1699. For several decades, Williamsburg served Virginia well as its capital. It was still located on the James River, but conditions were better. However, during the Revolution, it was an easy target for attacks by British ships. The decision was made to move the capital again to Richmond in order to increase the distance between the capital and Britain. It was also taken into account that more people were settling further west, and Richmond would be a more central location. So, in 1780, Governor Thomas Jefferson ordered that the capital be moved. This chart shows the timeline for the moving of the capital from Jamestown to Williamsburg and then finally to Richmond. Pause on this screen to review the reasons for the moves as well as some additional information. Take a look at this map. It shows the locations of Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Richmond. Notice that the capital continually moves inland, but to locations that still have easy river access.